Speaker. I'd appreciate you for making time to accommodate my brief statement. However, before the statement, allow me to slip in a quick procedural issue. Honorable Speaker, there are some matters that get to alarm us. This one alarmed me personally. I don't know if it did other people. The Fourth Estate has reported, including government media houses, has reported a haste at Bank of Uganda. Some reports have indicated $17 million, that's about 62 billion shillings. Others have indicated $13 million, that's about 48 billion shillings. And some narratives are there was a hacking by some people in South Asia, and this money was swiped to accounts in Asia. Other reports indicate it was an inside job of Bank of Uganda. It alarmed me because this is our central bank. Honorable Speaker, in the past couple of months, nearly every 2 months, you will hear of a haste at a commercial bank. Now, commercial banks, those are privately owned, it bothers us, but when it comes to the central bank, it's more problematic. And I'll tell you why I found it problematic. Let me read to you a section of the Bank of Uganda Act, Section 4.1, about the functions of the central bank. The functions of the central bank shall be to formulate and implement monetary policy directed to economic objectives of achieving and maintaining economic stability. That's how serious the role of Bank of Uganda is, locally and internationally. I've seen even international media houses report about this, and that does affect us in every sense. I thought government, through the Ministry of Finance, should help us understand, because you supervise the operations of Bank of Uganda to an extent. Yes, it's autonomous, but you're the overseers. It's important that we know what exactly is happening at our central bank. If monies are being siphoned, whether it be by hackers, whether it be by staff of Bank of Uganda, it should worry all of us.
Honorable Law.
Yes, right, Honorable Speaker.
Could you help us find out where was it?
In the New Vision, in the Daily Monitor.
You have it in the Monitor.
And they have been reporting about this almost on a daily basis, giving an update. So government should not continue to be quiet about this matter. We want to know what exactly is happening. Through you, right, Honorable Speaker.
If you have the New Vision, please help us. Lay it on table.
I carried one of the dailies that reported about this haste, and there are several others that I can avail to the Minister of Finance. But for now, I'll lay this one on table.
Thank you. Minister.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I am alive to what several media houses have been reporting. I wish to state that it is true our accounts were hacked into, but not to the extent of what is being reported. When this happened, we instituted an audit and at the same time an investigation. The Auditor General is doing the audit, and CID at the same time is doing an investigation. Madam Speaker, to avoid misrepresentation of facts, I wish to seek indulgence of this House that we be patient when the audit is finalized, which is now at the tail end, and also CID finalizes his investigation. I come to this House and report. Otherwise, as of now, any matter I disclose on this issue will risk misrepresentation of facts. I thank you.
Honourable members, honourable members. Honorable members, the minister is in agreement with what the leader of opposition is saying, but he says it is under investigation. Let's wait for a report from the investigation, and then we'll handle it in that way. But we want to thank you for bringing it up, and the minister has clarified that it is correct.
Rarely do they concede to some of these things, but government through the Ministry of Finance has conceded. Of course, now he has thrown things a bit off balance. So he's saying, no, it might not be entirely factual, even though there was a haste. That clarity should have come, because if he's saying these figures are wrong, what are the correct figures? However, he is talking about an ongoing audit.
There's an
How
audit.
long is it going to happen? When are we going to get a report as Parliament on this matter? Because you see, the reason we are insisting on this matter, when the network firewalls of the central bank are penetrated, it is something that gets to worry all of us. That's why we are insistent on this.
Yes.
Madam Speaker, all these processes will have been concluded within 1 month, and I will report back to the House.
Members, there are two institutions that are investigating this issue. There is Auditor General that is going to get, and then we also have CID, we have police, they're also investigating. So we cannot discuss what is being investigated already. It is good we have the information. In 1 month's time when we come back, we shall be able to ask the minister to give us a feedback. Next item. Issues of monies are issues of security. You don't discuss it just anyhowly. Don't discuss it anyhowly.
Thank you, Honourable. There is no continuous hacking happening, because all those are matters that are of concern to us, because the month might elapse and then we hear this. Because nearly on a monthly basis, Honourable Speaker, and I believe you're a consumer of intelligence information.
No, it has.
So commercial banks have been hacked very regularly. So there must be something that is convoluted that we need to have a good understanding of. Because it's even the commercial banks, they host monies belonging to the Ugandan citizens. So
can we have your report now that you brought that very important information, and it has been handled?
Thank you.
Rob, my supervisor,
Then
will
why
allow
don't
me.
you come in front? Why do you sit?
I sought permission to sit here.
Okay.
Madam Speaker, Madam Speaker, I agree with your guidance and the plea from the Minister of Finance. What a responsible government does is to issue an interim statement reassuring the public, disclosing what will not prejudice the investigations. A responsible government does not stand up in Parliament and say, we are investigating, we will not tell you anything. Because by you saying you are going to investigate, you are even carrying out an audit, you have actually admitted that you don't know. That's why you are investigating, that's why you are auditing. You share with the public on whose behalf you transact business, government business, on an interim basis, what so far you know and you think is not a danger. But you don't plead that I am not going to say anything. You see, this matter. So, Madam Speaker, I thought that I am asking NRM government to be what they cannot, to be responsible, but I think they can learn at least to try. Then we will forgive you that at least you are trying.
Is doing whatever it takes to stop that, whatever has happened, and there is not much that you can do. That is a human disaster. Honorable Musasisi.
Laying of 500,000, equivalent to United States dollars 18.09 million.
Honorable members, can you?
From the African Development Fund to finance East Africa's Centers of Excellence for Skills and Tertiary Education in Biomedical Sciences Project, Phase 1, Uganda Cancer Institute, additional financing.
Honorable members, the money they are getting is for tertiary education, the Biomedical Science Project, Phase 1, the Uganda Cancer Institute, and that is the money they are proposing. We are not saying we are passing. We are not passing the money now. The report has to go to the committee. The committee will make its analysis whether we should borrow or not. Honorable members, Article 159(2) of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda requires that when borrowing is done, there should be an approval of Parliament, and that is in pursuant to Section 36, Section 39 of the Public Finance Management Act 2015, and Rule 159(1) of the Rules of Procedure. I now invite the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development to table a loan request.
Right, Honorable Speaker. Madam Speaker, pursuant to Article 159 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda and Section 34 of the Public Finance Management Act, and pursuant to all the applicable rules of procedure of Parliament, I beg to lay a proposal to borrow up to units of account 13,500,000, an equivalent of United States dollars 18.09 million from the African Development Fund to finance East Africa's Centers of Excellence for Skills and Tertiary Education in the Biomedical Sciences Project Phase 1, Uganda Cancer Institute, additional financing. I beg to lay, Right Honorable Speaker.
Please lay. And in furtherance to Rule 1552 of the Rules of Procedure, I refer the request to Committee of National Resources. I mean Natural Economy. Natural Economy, sorry. LOP.
Item 3,
Procedure.
statement
Yes,
by the
Speaker.
Leader of the Opposition.
Madam Speaker and my good brother, Madam Speaker, I am an independent member, but you know where I kneel. Madam Speaker, yesterday I appreciated Honorable Jimmy Akena for his good role that he's doing promote Uganda through motorsports and as a leader of a political party. But I also at the same time submitted and said we have other leaders of political parties who are using their positions not to bring out a good brand of Uganda. Madam Speaker, good enough, the LOP gave a submission concerning Bank of Uganda, and he said he got it from social media and laid the papers too. And also at the same time, Madam Speaker, I really seek your protection because I see I'm being harassed by my sister who is seated behind me. And that's domestic violence. You know, we have a week of activism. Madam Speaker, I therefore...
Honourable members,
Madam
what is your procedure matter?
Madam Speaker, I don't know whether we are proceeding well at this time. that I watched the leaders of one of a political party called NUP in Santiago, Chile, in North America, attending a conference with the theme of democracy and freedom. But resolution number 8, they resolved that LOBDQ, the homosexuality, must be defended. And moreover, Honorable Abed is here. He wrote a letter to the leadership of NUP asking them their stand about homosexuality. They did not repeat. I want the leader of opposition to look in the cameras and give the position of NUP concerning homosexuality in this country, to defend the law that we made here. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable members, the leader of opposition has not gone anywhere. He's been here with you in the parliament. But if you're saying there are people who have gone and they have attended any meeting in regards to whatever you have said, you know, even the Bible says we shall know them by their deeds. We shall know them. So, Honorable Lob, just present your paper.
Statement by the leader of the opposition on an oversight visit.
Speaker, Honorable Speaker, when we were passing the anti-homosexuality bill, there is 2 members of parliament who objected, and they are not members of the opposition which I lead. They were members of the NRM. I just thought I should throw that out there. But also, Right Honorable, you know, when we are entering the gate at Parliament, they normally check, I think, for guns and other artillery. I think as we especially enter the chambers, they need to check for maybe other substances in people's jackets and so on that motivate the way people speak. But Honorable Speaker, let me get to the statement.
There's a procedural matter.
Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
I want to thank you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
And I will proceed with the background. Right, Honorable Speaker.
There's a procedural matter, Lord.
I will lead the opposition for giving way. Madam Speaker, I don't know whether we are proceeding right. First and foremost, Rule 72 tells us that the speech of the member should be relevant or must make reference to the subject matter under discussion. The right honourable Speaker allowed you to talk about Busoga, but now you're bringing in a different matter. So I don't know whether he's moving right or he's in the right direction. That's number one. Number two, Madam Speaker, I don't think it's also, I don't know whether it's also right for the leader of opposition to insinuate that members of parliament speak under the influence of drugs. I think that is also something that we should expand off the record of parliament. I'm seeking your guidance, Madam Speaker.
I think they are filibustering to delay my statement, Right Honourable Speaker. I beg that you allow me proceed with the statement.
Honourable Leader of Opposition, you said that we should be checking members when they are entering into the chambers for
anything.
For anything?
Yeah.
Maybe we need to understand what anything.
Right, Honourable Speaker, the word anything has a very good meaning, and the meaning of anything is anything.
So you mean the member speaks out of anything?
I don't know, and that's why we need to, I guess, improve our security mechanisms here, Right Honourable Speaker. Even for your safety, I see there are changes here that were made, and maybe we need to up it up some more. But Right Honourable Speaker.
Honourable Bell, your statement.
Right Honourable Speaker, whereas we debate with humor, there are some issues which are very important. Right Honourable Speaker, it is important that my good friend, the leader of opposition, withdraws that statement. It needs to be expunged because it goes on record that maybe some members of parliament come with something or anything that impairs their submission because he was very emphatic that we need to check anything that may derail people from speaking. Honorable Speaker, is it procedurally right that the Honorable LOP withdraws that statement and we expunge from the record of Parliament? I thank you.
So that there is proper clarity.
Honorable members, all of you, all members of Parliament come here in their best mind to be able to legislate for this country. That's what so we can't say anybody is, maybe something is activating anybody. Nobody comes with anything.
Honourable Speaker, with your permission, let me rephrase.
You go to your report. Go to your report.
Okay, but I wanted to make a correction. Honorable Abe said I'm her good friend. I am not her good friend, for the record. But she's a colleague, that's okay. Right, Honorable Speaker, I want to appreciate you for making time for this brief statement. Honorable Abe used to be a good friend of mine when she was still part of the opposition. I see some colleagues are complaining. Honorable Speaker, I'll make this statement brief. I did travel to Busoga sub-region, specifically Jinja district, with some members of the shadow cabinet and some opposition members of parliament from Busoga sub-region to interact with sugarcane farmers. They've been reaching out to us with several complaints, so we decided to pay them a visit and interact with them. I'll skip a couple of things and go to the background. Busoga is one of Uganda's leading sugarcane growing regions, contributing significantly to the country's sugar production. The sugar industry is one of the fastest growing industries in our economy under the manufacturing sector, contributing over 300 billion shillings in taxes annually, according to the Ministry of Trade, employing over 100,000 Ugandans directly and many more indirectly. The industry also produces over 150 megawatts of electricity from bagasse, of which about 70 megawatts is supplied to the national grid. Busoga has the biggest number of sugarcane mills and a huge acreage of sugarcane, making use of its fertile soil around Lake Victoria and Lake Kyoga, coupled with good rains. However, the persistent poverty in Busoga continues to raise questions about whether cane cultivation is benefiting farmers. Uganda Bureau of Statistics 2020 figures show that Busoga has 1.2 million poor persons. This is 120, it could be different now, of which 400,000 are living in food poverty. Food poverty, often referred to as household food insecurity, can be triggered by a crisis in finance or personal